Welcome back to CordcuttersLI, where we help to save you money on your cable bill. This video is for all the Firestick users out there that have not yet been chased away by all the updates and changes Amazon has been throwing at us for the last bunch of months. In fact, it's been just over 6 months since I posted this video, showing you all the critical settings you need to turn off to both protect your privacy and improve your streaming experience when using the Amazon Fire Sticks. In that short time, I cannot believe how many changes there have been that you need to know about. Whether you're a veteran user of the Amazon Fire TV devices or if you just bought your first one, it doesn't matter. In this video, I'm going to share all the settings you need to change today and why. So with all that being said, if you're ready to learn, I'm ready to rock and roll. So grab those remotes and let's go. Okay, let's jump right in. First, I want to show you that I am on the Amazon Firestick 4K Max. This is the latest version of Firestick available from Amazon. If you go over to the right, the far right, and go into that gear, and then go down into My Fire TV, and then click About, you will see here that it's the device type. It says Fire TV Stick 4K Max. So what you'll want to do, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, it shows here that we're on software version FireOS 8.1.1.1. Go down and click Check for Updates. It says here that I am up to date, so we don't have to do that anymore. So let's start over. Let's go down, hit the home button, and we'll start with these settings that you need to take a look at. So once again, all settings are in the gear. So let's go down to the gear. I'm going to show you something in applications that is kind of new and it's kind of important as well. You're going to want to look at that. But the settings I want to show you first are all in preferences. And there are some new settings in here that we need to take a look and make sure that we turn off. So let's go ahead into preferences. First thing, you have parental controls. We don't need to look at this so much. I made a video a while back showing parental controls, and one of the features and one of the things you can do with parental controls that I do recommend, even if you don't have kids around, is to disable purchasing things on the Amazon Fire Stick. So you could turn on parental controls for that. And so instead of renting or buying content, movies, whatever, you can have a passcode in there to kind of stop other people in your house, teenagers, whatnot, from buying stuff. So that's parental controls. We're not going to go deep into that right now. A lot of these settings are in privacy settings, so let's check that out. This is a brand new one that they just released. In fact, I made a dedicated video on just this one setting that I felt was important enough to share with you when it first came out very recently. It's manage sharing from apps. So I've turned this off. It says, personalize your Fire TV. Make it easier to continue watching your favorite shows, improve your recommendations and ads, and more. If you select on, supported third-party apps will share your viewing and contact information with Amazon. No thanks, because like I said in the other video, Amazon watches everything that you do already with all the apps that are in their app store, and even just navigating around the Fire Stick. One of the most popular things to do on a Fire Stick is to install and enjoy third-party or unofficial apps that aren't in the Amazon App Store, and we don't need Amazon getting into our business on those apps as well. So let's go ahead and turn that off and keep that off. This is something I've seen that's new as well. I really don't know what the function of this is because I've checked all my Fire TV devices. They have this in here, stored email addresses. If you go into this setting, it's basically just going to display the email address that you have that's hopefully logged into your Fire TV device. And in my case it is, and almost undoubtedly yours is as well. In here, I'll just show you real quick. If you go in there, I'm going to blur it out, but that's the email address that I sign into my Amazon accounts with. And I would imagine, I don't even know how you could have more, but if there were more, you might be able to delete them from there. But I'm just going to hit cancel on this. I think that's somewhat of a useless setting. But a non-useless setting that we need to look at is device usage data. It's funny, when it's on, you're fine. You can turn it on without any kind of warning or anything. But if you go to turn it off like this, they give you this message to try to talk you out of turning it off. It says, we use data about your use of this device to provide customized marketing offers you might enjoy and to improve our products and services for all users. Well, I don't need to have Amazon keeping track of what I do as far as what I usage, the data usage and whatever on the device to help them sell to me and to other people. So, and not to mention all of these things, most of these settings that I'm going to tell you to turn off also use up resources on your device that are also precious already. So we don't need that. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Same thing here where it says collect app usage data. This is a brand new one as well. Again, turning it on is easy, and in fact, it's on by default. But if you go to turn it on here, it says App Store collects information on the frequency and duration of use of downloaded apps in order to improve the App Store experience and the quality of apps we make available. Once again, same thing applies here. No need to, kind of help Amazon sell you stuff or, share your information. And, if you read the fine print on some of this stuff, they can do a lot more than what's on this screen. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Interest-based ads, same thing. If you turn it on, it doesn't tell you anything, but if you go to turn it off, it'll give you this little warning. It says when turned off, you will still see ads, but apps will be instructed not to use your advertising ID to build profiles for advertising purposes to show interest-based ads on this device. So again, more resources being used, and again, no need to help Amazon sell stuff, so turn that off. Okay, so that's that. Now let's move back one level and let's go to data usage monitoring. Basically, this is for people that have, limited bandwidth, like back in the day when like cell phones were a big, user of this, where you'd have a plan that had, X number of megabits or megabytes per month or per week or whatever on your plan. I think this is somewhat of an obsolete setting. Data usage monitoring will basically let you know, and you can go in here, and if you turn it on, you can set a data alert, if you've gone up to a certain amount of your data usage or whatever, and then, you can turn that, you can stop using it basically, or stop you from using data after you've exceeded that. So again, I think this is somewhat of an obsolete setting. We don't really need to worry about that for the most part, but do know that it's there if you are in an area where, bandwidth is limited. Notification settings, it says turn off all notification pop-ups or unblock notifications from specific apps. And this is sort of a backwards thing. It says do not interrupt, it says on. So turn off to show application pop-ups. So you basically want to leave this to on, where it says it's like sort of a double negative or an oxymoron. Do not interrupt on, yes. Now let's move down to featured content. You're going to want to turn both of these off. And this is a big resource hog, and also an annoyance, quite honestly, especially the audio one. Basically, allow video autoplay. This is on that home screen. Let me go quickly out there. They're off, so at the top you see just still images, right? But if these were on, let me go back in there real quick. I'm going to turn the video one on, and then I'll go back to the home screen. I'll show you what happens now. So now when you're up here, see, now it actually plays video at the top of the screen. So we don't need any of that stuff. Again, it's using up resources. Why play video on a device, basically an advertisement on your device using your data, your resources, and so on and so forth. So let's make sure that we turn that off. And same thing goes for audio. This is really annoying. If you have this set to on, when those things just start playing, in fact, like when you wake up from sleep, when the Firestick is sleeping and you wake it up, it's going to come on and with audio, and sometimes it's quite loud. Those advertising videos or trailers that they show and play on that home screen. So definitely want to turn this off. Again, a resource hog and quite annoying. So those are basically the settings under preferences that you want to make sure that you turn off. Then there's another one I wanted to show you that's rather new under applications. And this is where it comes to auto offload. This is something that they've recently done. I guess maybe a month or two ago they instituted this, and I didn't make a video on it because I didn't feel it was that big a deal, but it's certainly good to add into this type of video for basically general Amazon Firestick settings. I've turned this off, and basically what it says is automatically offload unused apps when your Fire TV is low on storage. App data will be saved so you can easily reinstall the app later. So what that means is Amazon keeps track of the apps that you use. In fact, let me show you. If you go into Manage Installed Applications, real quick, you can sort these by how recent you've used them, right? So And again, it's telling me that I've never used these apps, and that information is incorrect in a lot of cases. So Amazon doesn't do a very good job of determining what you use. And in fact, there are a lot of plugins or apps that are used in other third-party apps, like for example MX Player or VLC Player, Media Player. These are players that work with some third-party apps that need to run to play that content, but Amazon will invariably remove those players or those media players from your device because it doesn't know that you've opened them, and so that's something that happens quite often. It's I think that this setting is not really ready for prime time, as the expression goes. So offloading, I would turn off. Just keep an eye on the storage on your device periodically. Don't don't go down below 1 gigabyte of free available space, and you'll be fine. Let me show you where that setting is, by the way. If you go into, actually I could have just backed up a level, but let me go back into the gear. And if you go into My Fire TV, and then you go into, it's a few places, but if you go into About, it'll tell you right there, storage capacity. I have 7.15 gigabytes available out of the 13 gigabytes available on this device, so I'm nowhere near low on storage. And so two things. First thing is, it's not going to automatically offload any apps for this device, whether I have that setting on or off. But if I do get close, especially on the earlier versions, not the 4K Max, but the earlier versions that have only 8 gigs of total storage versus this one, you can get close to that threshold of having too little of storage. And the last thing you want to do is have Amazon automatically uninstall an app, even if it's keeping the data and it's kind of quick to get it back. It's just annoying, and it's a setting that I suggest just turning off. Okay, so again, that's up in Applications, Auto Offload. Let's turn that setting off. Okay, so when I talk about third-party or unofficial apps, it's always a good segue to talk about IPVanish, or in other words, the VPN that I use and trust on all of my devices. And I especially want to bring it up right now because, as you see here, they have a promo going on, I think until the 4th of July, just less than another week. For just a little more than $2.19 a month, you can get IPVanish. Why is IPVanish the best? Well, lots of reasons. It's definitely the fastest, but let me show you this. If you scroll down here, again, these are the prices, $2.19 a month for 2 years and 3 months, basically. But here's the key. Verified no traffic logs. In other words, this is unlimited devices. You're allowed to install IPVanish on all the devices that you want, not just your Fire TV devices or your other streaming devices, but your cell phones, your laptops, your computers, everything. Your mothers, fathers, kids, aunts, nieces, uncles, whatever. It's unlimited connections with your single subscription for IPVanish. If it's unlimited, that's how you know that they're not keeping track of your information and potentially sharing it with authorities or whoever else. Like, let's just take a look at, for example, NordVPN, which is one of the competitors. Number one, it's a lot more expensive, but look down here. It says 10 devices secured at once. So what that means is they're limiting your devices to 10 devices. And the only way that you can do that is to know that you're on, when you're trying to get onto your 11th device, is by keeping track or a log of the devices that you're on. Otherwise, how would they know, right? That's why IPVanish is the best, because I feel it doesn't have any of that capability to even know what devices that you're on. And again, if I was just using this for my Fire Sticks or my streaming devices, that would be value enough. But I don't. I use this. I never, ever use public Wi-Fi if I'm out at like a Starbucks or out at the coffee shop or out in public. Public Wi-Fi, hotels, all these different things. You go to a hotel, you get on the hotel Wi-Fi with your laptop, you're surfing the web. Well, let me tell you something. Other people can very easily watch and can intercept what you're doing, let alone your ISP, at home and stuff, for sure. It's always good to use a VPN for that. But out and about on my cell phone and laptop, I use it probably just as much, if not more, than on my streaming devices. Okay, so enough of all that. If you want the best price that they've had in a very, very long time, click on the link below in the description. It does help to support the channel, and I appreciate that. All right, so there you go. All the settings I believe that you should change on your Amazon Fire Stick today. Stop Amazon from keeping track of what you're doing, sharing that information with God knows who, increase the performance of your Fire Stick by turning all that stuff off and not using up the resources on your device. And I think you'll feel a lot better about it after. So if you enjoyed anything you saw here today, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, share this and all of your favorite CordcuttersLI videos with your friends. This not only helps to get my videos shown to more people on YouTube, it also helps to support the channel. So thanks very much for that, and thanks for watching.